All right, guys, how's everybody doing? March 26, 2019. It is Tuesday, and it is spring. It is spring. It is finally spring. I can say that with all definitivity. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and the deer are playing in my backyard, so I know that it is definitely spring. Hope you guys are doing awesome, though. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you're kicking ass, having a great training season so far, working out, burning fat, building muscle, all that stuff. And before I forget, if you haven't already, make sure and stop by our website, thepureline.com. We've got a ton of cool stuff on there now. We just released our XP2G Black, which is our fat loss product. Very new, cool product with some cool ingredients. We also released Diva Secret last month, or actually earlier this month. It is a female-friendly product to help with female libido. So check that out. It's got a little bit of a extra something in there to help women actually balance hormones a little bit too. So we're doing that. And we have had a really hectic and busy month, actually the last couple of months. I mean, we've been doing a lot of stuff. So we had 2 product launches. We also concluded just on Sunday our 56-day weight loss challenge. For all you guys who entered, competed, and followed the rules and sent us your pictures and measurements and all that stuff, we did receive them. And man, let me tell you, they are incredible. We've had some really amazing transformations in 56 days. So we will shortly, probably within the next week or so, is it a week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, this week.
Probably this week, in the next 7 days, we will be announcing the actual female and male winners to that. So whoever entered, stay tuned for that. We'll be posting that on our website and on our social media channels and all that other stuff. So we will definitely, and remember that female winner gets $1,000 cash, as well as the male winner $1,000 cash. So you guys who did complete the 56-day challenge, congratulations. We are proud of you. So can everybody hear me? Everybody doing good? All right. So today, we are going to talk about this one little thing that if you know, it will actually help you get 5 times better results from your workouts, or actually I should say 5 times better results from what it is you're trying to achieve. Fat loss, building muscle, burning fat, whatever it is that you guys are trying to achieve out there. Knowing this one thing will help you do that and get better results. So let's jump right into it, okay? Because if you understand this one thing about your body, you will actually understand how to train, how to eat, how to sleep, how to work out, how to diet. All of that stuff will come after you understand this one thing about you. And that one thing is, what type of body do you have? What is your body type? You know, are you naturally thin, naturally thick, naturally muscular? There's a reference point for every physique, every body, right? And the reference points are simply 3 names: ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. And for any of you guys who want to easily remember that, it's very simple. Ectomorph is the thinner type of person. Mesomorph starts with an M, so I always remember muscle, M, mesomorph. That's the person who tends to put on muscle easily, has kind of a nice X frame. And then endomorph is the person that tends to put body fat on quickly, a little softer, a little, thicker around the waist. So that's an easy way to remember. But those are the 3 types of bodies that pretty much anybody has. And now I should state there can't be a combination of those 2. So sometimes you have an ecto, meso combined. Sometimes you have a meso-endo combined. And at different times, our bodies change into one or the other categories. We're not always static. It's kind of a changing mechanism that we are able to do through our training and nutrition and diet. So keep that in mind. But with that being said, there are a few things that you can learn about your particular body that will help you figure out how to train better, how to eat better, how to diet better, and what supplements you can take to get better results. And it's all based on those 3 distinct profiles, if you will. So let's find out which one you are, okay? So let's start with the ectomorph. What is the ectomorph? The ectomorph is typically the thinner person. They've got narrow shoulders, a flat chest. You know, they're thinner women and men who have a really hard time gaining weight. They can pretty much eat whatever they want, and they don't gain fat easily. They don't gain muscle easily. They're just naturally thin. They have a super fast metabolism. And we could consider this person the ultimate hard gainer. Now, a lot of you guys may be saying, well, yeah, that's the awesomest place to be in because, man, can you imagine, you know, you can eat whatever you want. But truth be told, it's quite difficult for these people. I've known several of these people throughout my life, and, you know, it's challenging to keep their calories up. I mean, these types of individuals will literally go 3 or 4 days not eating correctly and lose like 10 pounds. I mean, it just happens super quickly. So it's not as fun as it sounds to constantly be eating and making sure they're keeping a certain weight. On the flip side of that, they tend to have really good fat distribution, meaning when they do put on muscle, they don't put on much body fat at all. It's just lean tissue, but it's very difficult to acquire that lean tissue. So the ectomorph is somebody who has that super fast metabolism and is naturally very thin. And the diet that they tend to perform better on is a higher carb diet, usually around 60% carbs, 30% protein, about 10% fat. So they need those calories to really make sure that their body has the tools and the factors necessary for it to grow, right? Workouts for the ectomorph are short and intense workouts. You know, they don't want to be in the gym a long time. In fact, that's like the critical mistake that most thin ectomorphs make, is that they tend to stay in the gym for hours and hours at a time, and that's very unnecessary, and it's probably very counterproductive to what they're trying to achieve. You know, essentially what they want to achieve is small, short, intense workouts, 45 to 50 minutes. They're in and out, so they can eat, feed, and rest their body and grow. Not much cardio, maybe 1 or 2 sessions a week, very light cardio, 15 to 20 minutes. Essentially, they want to lift heavy, compound movements, large muscle groups, and eat constantly. The more they eat, the better, as far as putting on lean muscle. The other thing that's really interesting is from a supplement standpoint, these particular individuals want to try and use products like weight gainers and branched chain amino acids, creatine, glutamine, anything that can help them put on muscle quicker and add weight. And there's actually a lot of females that fall into the ectomorph category, believe it or not. We see several that come through to our stores that, you know, say, hey man, I need something to help me gain weight. And most of the time we'll put them like on our Mesofactor. It's like a lean gaining product. So they do exist, you know, women and men both in this category. Now, like I said, there's also kind of subcategories of ectomesomorphs that are combined, and that's the next type of, I guess, person that we would look at is the mesomorph. Now, the mesomorph is pretty much the one that everybody wants to be, right? And like I said, you can remember meso because it starts with an M, and I kind of equate that with muscle, M. And basically, the mesomorph is the guy or girl who tends to be very athletic. They have kind of an X-frame build, wide shoulders, small waist, you know, good legs. They tend to put on muscle super easily. They can put on body fat, you know, easily too, so they have to be careful. But for the most part, they're naturally lean. Think track athletes, sprinters, swimmers, you know, athletes like baseball players that, you know, have good quality physiques. And most of your mesomorphs, you know, they're the genetically gifted few that we like to say, man, you know, these guys have it all going for them. They're always lean, and they're, you know, they naturally can pretty much do whatever they want and look great. But they're athletic. They have a definite musculature. They're naturally strong people, even from childhood. So if you fall into that category, the best type of workout for you is essentially weight training with cardio. You want to do kind of I would say a 70-30 mix, 70% training with weights or strength training, 30% cardio. You want to keep cardio in because even as a muscular mesomorph, you can put on body fat a little bit quickly, so you have to be careful with it. You always want to keep your calories pretty much in check. Make sure you are eating clean. The best equation that I could use for the diet for them are usually a 40% carb, 30% protein, 20% fat diet. Is that equal 100, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 30% fat diet? So, you know, it's a little lower in carbs than the ectomorph, but at the same time, it's giving them what they need so that they can continue to grow and put on muscle tissue. Supplement-wise, protein, creatine, glutamine, branched chain amino acids. They can use muscle enhancing products and fat loss products from time to time. Again, this is pretty much the naturally gifted person that we're all trying to get to. That's that little point right in the middle where you're lean, you're muscular, you're just in a really good place. So that's what we call the mesomorph. So if you are in that category, consider the things like your training needs to be intense, 45 to 50 minutes. Cardio doesn't have to be daily. It could be maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but enough to keep your body at a good place. Now the last category, and the one that's I'd say probably the most popular and most people fall into, not just through genetic disposition, but also because they've eaten and they've gotten to this point, is the endomorph. And the endomorph is essentially the person who has put on a lot of body fat, and they're a rounder, softer type individual. They can be tall, they can be short, and they didn't necessarily start out as an endomorph. I mean, you've got a lot of mesomorphs who ended up turning into endomorphs after time and putting on body fat, and that's not a potentially bad thing because they can always go back to mesomorph or even ectomorph if they wanted to. But it's just a very common, theme as far as body shapes and body types go because of our diet in Western society, with fast food and all the foods and preservatives and all that junk that we have. It's easy to get to that point. So for endomorphs, they're soft and round. They have to be very careful because they put on body fat really quickly. They gain muscle quick too, which is great, but they also put on fat. And it's challenging for them to lose fat. With a mesomorph, you can lose fat pretty quickly, but with an endomorph, you tend to hold on to body fat. It's just a lot more challenging to lose, and I think that's a hormonal issue. They have big frames, large shoulders, and just, very slow metabolic rate. So for them, workouts, cardio is essential. They should be doing some kind of cardio work every day, 35, 40 minutes on a daily basis to just keep their metabolism going. Weight training is essential, 4 to 5 days a week. The more calories they can burn, the better in this case, so a combination of weights and cardio is necessary. And they've got to be very, very meticulous about carbohydrates and calories that they do eat, being really careful to only put good things into their body and not any high caloric stuff that's not going to provide the result or fuel that they need. I tend to see that most endomorphs do better on a higher protein, moderate carb diet, something like a 25% carb, 35% protein, 35 to 40% fat diet is where you want to be. Essentially just watching carbs and sugar is the key. Cardio is essential, weights are essential. Supplements, with the endomorph, the naturally heavier person, metabolic enhancers are extremely important. Diuretics to help improve thyroid health, thermogenics to help burn body fat, lean muscle preservation products, branched chain amino acids, glutamines, things that help the body hold on to muscle while they're burning fat or they're in the phase of trying to burn fat. Endomorphs are always in that phase where they're always trying to get lean. They're always starting a new program or a new diet. So being that in that phase, you're always trying to use things that will help the body's processes work more efficiently, digestive enzymes, again, metabolic enhancers and things like that. So, you kind of have to look at your body and just decide and figure out where you are. Are you an ecto? Are you a meso? Are you an endomorph? Or are you an endomorph? And based on where you fall, that is how you strategize your nutrition, your workouts, your cardio. All of that stuff is based on that. So take a look at that when you get a chance. Just say, hey, where do I fall and how can I design my training, my supplementation, and my nutrition to best benefit or help improve the results that I'm trying to get? And that's the key. That's really where you'll be able to figure out what program and what style of program is going to work best for you. If you haven't already, guys, check out our website. It's thepureline.com. Like I said, the products that I mentioned for ecto, endo, and mesomorphs are all great products depending on who you are and depending what your results are. Some of the standby products that you can use at all times are something like, our protein powders, creatine, glutamine, anything that helps you with recovery and muscle preservation. If you're putting on lean muscle tissue and you want to increase your metabolic rate through adding lean muscle tissue, you can always look at our pro-anabolic compounds like Testojet, EpiShred, Primovar. Those are all things that are going to help you out, so check those out. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram and you got a little bit of helpful information, which I hope you did, share this with your friends and let them know about us. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube later on, just subscribe to our channel and share that video as well. All right, guys, we try to come at you every day about 5:30 p.m. We don't do it typically every day just because we get a little bit busy, but we try to put out some content that'll help you guys in your quest to improving your body. We appreciate anybody who tunes in. We thank you guys, and we will see you again very shortly. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.